I'm Amy Wegman. It was Mr. Rogers who said to look for the helpers. And in Southwest Florida, we have so many of them. There are countless organizations, probably a lot that you're passionate about. I know in my 20 years working as a professional journalist, I have worked with so many. But it got me thinking, you know what? I bet there's plenty of charities here in Southwest Florida that I don't know about. So I actually posted this on social media. I asked you, what's a local charity in Southwest Florida that you wish more people knew about or contributed to? And one that popped up over and over and over again was My Autism Connection. I didn't know anything about this organization, so I decided to change that, and boy, am I glad I did. Holding tiny hands with his twin sister, posing with that cheeky smile, Carlos Zamora came into the world a sweet, smiling, happy baby boy. But it wasn't long before his mom, Pat, noticed something might be up.
He was always seeking input. You know, he'd do the head banging and he'd sort of walk a little clumsy. His speech wasn't really clear until he was about 4.5. They never really had a super specific label for it.
For years, doctors diagnosed Carlos with several different things, but it wasn't until he was 17 and in high school that he finally was diagnosed with autism, specifically Asperger's.
His teachers would say he understands above his grade level, way above his grade level, but the challenge is bringing it all together, organized way to get it out.
There were social challenges too.
Didn't really know why I couldn't connect to people in the same way that other people connected. When it came to friendships, I really didn't have a lot of friends at one time. Like, I had a friend.
That was a common theme as Carlos became an adult. But a drive one afternoon in Fort Myers would change that when Mom Pat saw a billboard that piqued her interest.
It advertised My Autism Connection, and I went on the website and checked it out, and I said, Carlos, I think you might want to check this out.
Tell me about it. What was that like when you finally started coming here?
Well, I was a bit nervous at first. I really haven't met other people in this kind of scenario.
Meeting other adults with autism in a supportive group setting. That is what MAC is all about.
Complete socialization, but also skill building.
Sandra Worth is the executive director and founder. Her son was 15 when he was diagnosed, and she quickly learned that services for adults with autism are lacking.
You know, they age out. At 22, their 22nd birthday, there are no more services through the system, through the government or the schooling. You fall through the cracks, which happens to many of our adults.
She and her team are working to change that, from outings to the zoo or escape rooms and bowling, guest speakers that they can learn from. MAC works with members on career development and life skills that they can use every day.
For so long in the schooling years, you know, you're told you're not good enough or that you can't do something. And so we wanted to shine on what the abilities were. Yeah. And it was important to just show that they can do. If you're giving them the tools, you know, they can do more.
A can-do attitude Carlos now has. His favorite activity so far?
My favorite ones were actually the art workshops and art classes here, because I like art. I paint.
For 32-year-old Brittany Reimer, who was diagnosed with autism as a toddler, being with people that understand her is huge.
We all have autism and we are all learning together. We're not all on one island.
And for her, it's the cooking classes.
Yeah, what's your favorite thing to cook?
I like to cook pasta puttanesca with olives and capers because it's really fun to mix all the ingredients together with like the sauce, and it's really fun.
Fancy pants.
Okay, puttanesca is amazing, but the goal she's probably most proud of? Buying her first car and learning how to be an independent driver, something Mac set as a goal for her and worked on with Brittany.
It was crazy, learning how to reverse and back out.
It's help that Brittany, Carlos, and his mom will be forever grateful for.
It's just really reassuring and really makes me feel good about, you know, him and his possibilities. And
give me more comfort. Before it was like I was very isolated before, but here I'm not really isolated.
If you want to learn more about My Autism Connection, volunteer, contribute, or maybe you have an autistic adult in your life that you think could benefit from their services, we've got all their information when you visit fox4now.com, and they've got lots of fundraisers coming up too, so check them out.